What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here in the studio with Mr. Brian Daigle. Had a good weekend, my friend?
I was in bed for most of it without moving, so it was not the best, but a chilled one.
Yeah, fair enough.
What about yours?
Yeah, busy weekend. Out on the lash on Saturday night was pretty good. Me and my wife went bar crawling, pub hopping, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the kids call it these days. In Camden Town, which was very fun. But yeah, no, it's a good weekend.
Good.
Can't complain.
Good. I took one for the team then.
Yeah, you definitely took one for the team. But yeah, look, a lot to talk about today, mainly regarding the internationals. But we are going to start off with a Tottenham update to get your teeth bitten into today. And first up, we're going to talk Pape Matar, as he went off injured in the Brazil-Senegal game, which I think was at the Emirates last on the weekend. And doesn't bode well with Pape Matar going off injured after 50 or 49 minutes, I think it was, at the Emirates. And Spurs' next game is at the Emirates. But a bit of, I don't know if you call it better news, but in terms of the update, there's been an update issued by the Senegal manager, Pape Thiaw, and he says he got hit and then he didn't feel well, so as a precaution, he preferred to come off. But I don't think it's a big deal. So, I mean, we've heard this kind of update from Spurs medical team and Spurs managers before, and then we don't see them for 3-4 months. Let's just hope the Senegal manager is more true to his word.
Yeah, I was about to say, thank God it's from the Senegalese medical team, not the Tottenham team, in case he's out till 2027. Yeah, that's like you said in the title, let's hope it is a scare. Let's hope and it was a precaution. By the sounds of it, he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
And then him asking to come off, maybe he had one thought of what's coming up for Tottenham. And it's not it was a friendly, wasn't it? It wasn't a vital qualification game. So let's hope, because Bergval's apparently got something as well. So now you start thinking our midfield could be the Bentancur Paulini, which we think it would be anyway.
Yeah,
to the NLD.
It is. I mean, I brought you the update on Friday regarding Lucas Bergvall, because he's pulled out of the Swedish squad altogether, and it's all to do with the concussion. And 12 days is the protocol, and 12 days was the day. I mean, he pulled out on the 13th day, essentially. So you're thinking, well, what is going on here? If this effects are lasting like over close to 2 weeks, maybe a bit more regarding concussion, that's actually quite worrying.
Yeah, it is. And so, do you know what? Thank God they do have the concussion rules now. It's vital with these head injuries that happen in modern day sport. And hopefully, again, another just precaution.
Yeah.
Because midfield's looking a little bit thin if that does happen, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But in terms of that game, Brazil against Senegal, it was kind of like a mini dress rehearsal for the North London derby, because you had Pape Sarr going up against Gabriel. Gabriel and Sarr both go off injured. Yep. Gabriel looks like he's most definitely out for the North London derby. Sarr at this moment is a doubt until we hear any more news. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of Spurs fans being, yeah, Gabriel's out. It's a massive, it's a massive plus for Tottenham, but I just don't see it that way, because I look at the defensive kind of players that they've got. They've got Mosquera to come in. They've got Hincapié to come in. Calafiori, he's also been pulled out of the Italy squad, but I think that's more of a precaution, and he's expected to be fit for the derby. But they've just got a host and a wealth of defensive options, as well as the way Mikel Arteta sets them up defensively as well.
They have. I am one of them that think it's a massive loss. We were talking about this earlier. I think that, I don't dispute that the quality Arsenal, the filth have got to bring in is incredible. But what Gabriel has been in scintillating form, and what he offers Arsenal at set pieces, as we've seen all season, he is the main person they go for, isn't it? Whether it's the goal or him getting the assist from heading it on. So I do think him being out is a massive, massive game changer for Arsenal and for us in those areas. But like you said, they do have quality to come in, but I don't know if they have Gabriel's aerial ability.
But you know, back in the day, like when they got an injury in the back line, like the time when we played them and when we beat them 3-0, they have an injury in the background. They have to put Rob Holding in there. And then you're starting to lick your lips if you're placing like Rob Holding. But I mean, Mosquera's been brilliant every time he's come in. So I just don't see it as a major positive. I mean, look, it's good that one of their best players probably won't be playing. Of course, that's a plus. But they've just got quality everywhere, and they've got, you know, their second team can probably give us a really good game and probably beat us as well. So I'm not too happy about. I mean, I'm happy that he's going to be missing the game, but I don't look at it being like this is a major plus for Tottenham.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, the quality they have is far superior to what we have, and they can make a change. I just think set pieces are going to be huge in this game, and he is a massive loss.
Yeah, that's true.
In that area.
All right, well, that's that. Pape Matar, hopefully he'll be back he doesn't have to travel far because he was only at the Emirates. So hopefully we'll get more updates regarding that. Next up, we are going to be talking transfers, and next player we're going to be speaking about is Magnus Akelouche of Monaco. Team Talk is saying that Tottenham are monitoring France attacking midfielder Magnus Akelouche during the international break as they consider making a bid for the Monaco player. Thomas Frank has been short on attacking and creative options since his arrival at Tottenham, and the club will back him in the next 2 transfer windows. So regarding Magnus Akelouche, did score his first goal for France during the weekend or one of the days over the international break, and he's top player, man. I was actually always thought he was a really good player, but when we saw him in close quarters in that Spurs Monaco game, he blew me away with how good he was. Ball like a magnet to his feet, such a trickery. He's got such trickery legs, or whatever I'm trying to say. He's a very tricky player, is what I'm trying to say. But Magnus Akelouche, I would love to see him in the Spurs shirt. I mean, I think he's top.
Yeah, same. I mean, I didn't know a lot about him before the rumours. But what I saw against us at close quarters, he was superb that game. He was superb, and exactly what we've been missing on the wing. I would love to see him in a Spurs shirt. Love to see him. If that was an audition, he passed with flying colours.
Absolutely, and I think it was a bit of an audition if we can get him through the door. I mean, they were talking in the summer about 60, 70 million or something like that, you know, after another good season, plus being a consistent France international. Now you're probably looking at, more on top of that.
Yeah, you're looking at big money probably, for sure.
All right. So that's Magnus Akelouche. Would love to see him in a Spurs shirt. Next up, we're going to talk about Ivan Toney, as Brian was convinced that Ivan Toney would be coming to Spurs during the January transfer window.
Yep.
However, Ivan Toney will not be leaving Al Ahly in January, according to the Saudi Arabian club sporting director Rui Pedro Braz. He has confirmed that Ivan Toney will be staying at Al Ahly during the January transfer window. Toney has enjoyed a brilliant start to life in Saudi, and he has struck only 2 fewer goals than Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring 23 goals in 30 matches.
It's insane. All the rumours were linking it, the Frank connection, the desperate need for a striker, him to get in the England World Cup squad. I thought it was going to be a slam dunk. But obviously, if they've come out, then story closed, really, isn't it? I would have hoped that, obviously, if we were to get him at any point, they would have had to pay a large part of his wages, a large part. And it looks like deal may be dead now.
Yeah, the only way I see a deal happening is if he kicks up a fuss and he really wants to get back into that England squad.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's getting back into the England squad for the World Cup with him being in Saudi. So he needs to kick up a fuss and demand a loan or a transfer if he wants to be in the England squad.
Yeah, which could be a twist in the window, but they have come out and quashed those rumours, haven't they? So we'll have to wait and see. But kind of statements like that from the owners of the club is quite emphatic, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, next up, we're going to talk about a defender, and he goes by the name of Konstantinos Koulirakis. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him, but we have had an update on him I think a few weeks ago. He's a left-sided centre-back that plays for Wolfsburg. Does it ring any bells?
Certainly does. It certainly does.
Footy Insider saying that Tottenham are leading the race to sign highly rated Wolfsburg defender Konstantinos Koulourakis. It is now being reported that Spurs are one of the favourites to sign the Greek international ahead of Liverpool. So apparently he's having an astonishing couple of seasons for Wolfsburg. Left centre-back, really good ball player, can bring it out the back. And I haven't seen him play too much, but judging on the kind of reaction about him and the data I read upon him, he seems like he could be a really good one for, you know, a backup or a rotation for Mickey, because we all know we need one.
Yeah, this is we saw this over the last week, and we did a thing, didn't we, where we were talking about defenders and how stacked we are. I don't get this one. I get he may be a quality player, but you look at the players coming back in Phillips, Vuskovic, you got Danso, that. We are so stacked in defenders, and if we do bring him in, someone's going to miss out. Someone's going to miss out, and I don't see... If we're going for a defender, I want it to be a left-back, not someone that can play left centre-back. It needs to be a left-back. But
well, yeah, but you're also looking at it as well. Like, you don't have anyone natural understudy for Mickey van der Ven. You don't have any left-footed centre-backs, and... You know, if that's the way Frank wants to go, left-footed on the left, right-footed on the right, who else? Who is going to be that kind of natural replacement for him?
Well, that's the thing. You look at it right now. Vuskovic is obviously coming back. He's more right-sided, isn't he? Then you've got Phillips. You've got Takai, who I believe is left-footed.
I think he used both.
Oh, maybe he's both, but I believe can play on the left. Obviously, we're not saying the quality of their elite quality as of yet. But we are so stacked in defence.
He's right-footed.
Oh, he's right-footed, my bad. So we shall see. But this rumour's come out, but a left centre-back, I know we need a replacement, but we're so stacked.
The thing is, the way I see it, if we are going to sign this guy, he's 21 years of age. The future of our centre-backs, you're looking at quality in each position. So on the right, you're looking at Romero and Vuskovic. On the left, you're looking at Mickey van der Ven and Koulourakis, with one of Dragoshin or Danso. Dragoshin and Danso still. So one of those two probably to cover both. So you go into a season with 5 centre-backs. I think one of Dragoshin and Danso to leave. I would probably say Dragoshin more than Danso at this moment in time. But yeah, that's the kind of way I look at it. So I think you want to sign a left-footed centre-back. I think you do.
Do you think right now, let's say January,
not January. I don't think it's not like desperate times for January, but I think when you're looking at the outlook of building this squad, I think you want one.
Okay, that I can kind of understand. I just think at the moment there is just so many there that can cover. We should sort out areas where we actually do need help and assistance in getting the quality in that position and getting that covered before loading up on a position where we are heavily stacked.
It's also a good point here. Someone makes in the comments saying that Ben Davies will be going soon. And Ben Davies is that position. I know he's injured right now, but he's that left-footed that can play left-side centre-back. So he could be the Ben Davies replacement.
Good point.
Yeah.
Fair point, actually.
Anyway, that is Koulourakis. We've got one more for you. A Rangers player called Nico Raskin. 12 million market value, and Footy Insider saying that Tottenham are one of the clubs interested in signing the Belgian international Nico Raskin. However, Rangers manager Danny Rowe is reluctant to cash in on the midfielder in January. Again, he's that kind of similar profile to the thing I was talking about last week with the defensive midfielder that can be a ball player. He's in the SPL, so it's hard to judge if he can make that leap and jump to the Premier League. But Spurs linked with Raskin. Do you know much about him?
I don't, but I wish we'd known this rumour when we had the Rangers fan on last week.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot easier to discuss. I honestly say I don't know a damn thing about him.
Yeah, I know that he's doing very well for Rangers, and on the back of it, he's got called up to the Belgian national team. So I mean, he's got to be doing something right if he's getting part of that team. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So look, I do think that is a position that Spurs are definitely looking for. A number 6 that can be a bit of a ball player, because we know that João Palhinha has done unbelievable for us, but he is missing that attribute from his game, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Obviously, there's been talk now. I've seen it on social media going on about thinking, is Palhinha a no-brainer in January? For me, it is, But there is that attribute that we've seen that is desperately needed, isn't it? And what we don't have.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today. We are going to move on and we're going to look back at Spurs players that have been playing for their international clubs in all four corners of the world. And we are going to start off in Ireland, where Portugal played Ireland and it finished 2-0 to Ireland, which was crazy. João Palhinha was an unused sub, but Troy Parrott scoring 2 goals on the day to beat Portugal, which was a massive game. Troy Parrott in the next game scored a hat-trick to come back from behind to beat Hungary. So Troy Parrott has scored 5 goals in his last 2 Ireland games. He scored 6 goals in his 7 games for Arsene Alkmaar this season, and he scored 14 goals in his 30 games for Arsene Alkmaar last season. So, I mean, look, João Palhinha, Portugal played 2 games. He was an unused sub in both games. The second one, they beat Armenia 9-1 and didn't get a single minute. But with Troy Parrott, first of all, big up to Troy Parrott because that is unbelievable. For him basically being cast aside at Tottenham pretty much to going and scoring a hat-trick for your national team, for Ireland, scoring all these goals in the Dutch league as well. And I've seen a bit of a discourse on social media regarding Troy Parrott being like, should we have sold him?
So first of all, as I said to you, he has become the first Republic of Ireland player to ever score a hat-trick on foreign soil. Which is a massive thing when you think about it. And they've had players like Robbie Keane, Niall Quinn. They've had some top strikers, and you think about it, that's a massive feat. Now, when it comes to it, I think first of all, what we have to say is very well done to Troy Parrott, because what I am loving in modern day football is British youngsters who aren't getting the rub of the green at home are prepared to go international, to either go on loan or try and get their career going. And obviously he was quite highly regarded. Didn't really get minutes for Tottenham. I think the last one I can actually remember is him missing the penalty against Norwich. I think he may have come on for a couple of very brief sub-appearances since.
I remember going away to Colchester when he started in that game under Pochettino when we lost. Do you remember that?
So that's how long we're talking. How long we're talking. He's gone there, and fair play to him. He is doing very, very, very well in the Dutch league. He has certainly stood up for Ireland, haven't they? Because Ireland have been going through, the Republic of Ireland have been going through a really torrid time, and he has single-handedly got them these huge results. Fair play to him. Now, when it comes to should be a sold, this is the biggest story. I think what it teaches us is all these people that are playing down the youngsters saying they're not good enough, blah, 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 they need time. Would Troy Parrott have got into the team under Harry Kane? Not a chance. Would he have got into the team now? Very good chance. Would he be this good? Don't know, but fair play to Troy Parrott for taking a huge risk of going abroad and revitalising his career, and he is literally putting up trees in Holland, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing brilliantly well, and I commend him for that. But for me, like, I think it was the right decision for all parties, for Tottenham and for Troy Parrott to leave the club at the time that he did, because if he would have stayed at Tottenham, I don't think this opportunity comes about, because he wouldn't have been playing as regularly. He needed these regular minutes at AZ Alkmaar last season, all season, and now at the beginning of this season to aid his development. And that development was not being aided at Tottenham. We had strikers on the books that were always ahead of him in the pecking order. Could he have fought his way in? Potentially. You know, never say never. But the reality was, he was far down the pecking order at number 9 for Tottenham, and the reason he left was to go in search for consistent minutes and consistent football. He's got that. He's reaping the benefits of it now, and we've got I believe a 20% sell-on fee. So if we did want to bring him back to the club, which I'm sure he'd be open to one day, we could get a cheaper fee than anyone else.
Not even that. I mean, even if he doesn't come back to us, his value is skyrocketing. If they get to the World Cup, he has a good World Cup. If he does well in the Dutch league again, his value is going higher and higher and higher. So Spurs will get a decent chunk of change should we sell him to another, or should he be sold to another club. And you'd think from here he'd go on to a different league, wouldn't he? Unless he went to one of the Dutch big boys. But you're right. I don't think if he had stayed at Tottenham, this opportunity would have presented himself, or he would have been as focused or as sharp as he is now. And you look at it, this is a great show. You look at people like Bellingham that went out to Germany. Sancho, all right, hasn't worked out for him in England. But there are a lot of youngsters now. Alfie Devine did, and Vuskovic currently going out to foreign leagues to learn their trade.
Yeah.
Rather than taking it easy. Even Mikey Moore going to Rangers, like the guy that came on said, Derek, when he said he could have gone to a championship team, a League One team, whatever it may be, but no, they want to go and test themselves. And fair play to any youngster of any club that's going to do it. And Troy Parrott, fair play to you.
Yeah, look, he's done very well on international duty this week, but it also should be said that, you know, scoring goals in the Dutch league sometimes can be a bit misjudged because he's in a very open league. He's doing very well there. I don't want to discredit him in any way, but I want to see him, you know, keep moving up the levels now and going into a harder league and score goals there. But look, to score 2 goals against Portugal and a 2-0 win is very impressive.
And then obviously 3 at Hungary and 2 of them late on.
Yeah.
From 2-1 down.
Yeah.
And as you were saying about the Dutch league, we can certainly say that with Vincent Janssen, can't we? And we saw what happened there. But from being in the dark at Spurs to now being out from the shadows and into the light in the Dutch league, and playing for a team that isn't one of the big boys and racking up these goals is fair credit to him. And now they're in the playoffs. Let's see who they get. If he can do that again, I mean, I've seen videos of people in bars in Ireland, in the airport, Dublin main airport. They're watching the game, and the scenes are brilliant for Ireland. And it's good to see them back in the fray, because whenever they're at a tournament, they're good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The Green Army, follow them everywhere, man. But yeah, look, well played to Troy Parrott. Julie deserves all the adulation that's coming his way at this moment in time. Next up, we're going to look at England's games over the international break. 2-0 win over Serbia, 2-0 win over Albania. Jed Spence, an unused sub in both games, which makes England, I think it's a record-breaking qualifying campaign for England, because we've qualified winning every game, not conceding a goal in any of the games as well of the whole qualification, which is quite mad to think about, because, you know, I was looking at this group and I know we had Serbia. Who else did we have in the group? Albania. You know, it's not the hardest group in the world, but going away to Serbia is always going to be a difficult game. We've struggled there in recent times. So to qualify in this group with no goals conceded, I know that the football might not have been the greatest all the way through the groups, and some of the games might send you to sleep at times, but the proof is in the pudding. It
is, and you know what? In all World Cup qualifiers and Euro qualifiers, no matter how poor the group's been for us, I mean, England always, apart from like when we did not qualify, it's been easy for us. And we have conceded goals. England have conceded. So to go the whole 8 games without conceding a goal is a massive credit to Thomas Tuchel and his coaching staff in England. And you know what? This is exactly what you need for tournament football. If you go in for tournament football and you don't concede, well, you're going to go very far in this tournament. Yeah. Or the upcoming tournament. And fair play, this should be a massive confidence boost for England. Genuine hope, like you said, the football may have been poor at times, but it's got the job done. The objective was to qualify, which we've done easy. But the last few games you've seen England, or from what I've seen, the passages of play and understanding what Tuchel actually wants them to do is starting to come through. So to go into the World Cup, England are always always spoken about, could they do it, whatever. You go into a tournament on the back of 8 clean sheets qualifying, that's got to be a huge confidence booster for every single player in the team. Yeah, I think so. And, you know, can't lose games, can't go out of tournaments unless you're losing on penalties if you don't concede, you know what I mean? So exactly. I think England have placed themselves in a really good place to go into this World Cup and give it a really good stab. And I think England are going to go very far. I think we might even win it. Mate, my main hope is they get drawn in Canada's group, because then they'll be in Toronto. So I will have an incredible time. But yeah, I was speaking with you. I think England gets to semi-finals minimum this year, barring a massive injury to Kane or something like that. I think the way Thomas Tuchel will have us set up and the manner of where we go in, we've got a very good chance. But we say this every 2 years, don't we, with the Euros or World Cup? Yeah. But I think genuinely there is a chance. Yeah. Harry Kane,
He brought the stat up to me yesterday, or just before the stream, saying Harry Kane now has more international goals than Pele.
Yeah.
That's just mad, isn't it? Is that not mad?
The stats show. I think Harry Kane, Pele, did it in about 10 or 12 games quicker. But obviously, football has changed since then. This guy just keeps defying logic. And they said as well, it's mid-November and Harry Kane has 30 goal contributions. We were talking about it, and you look at it. Brandon Johnson, who was our top goal scorer, and I don't know how many goal he gets top goal scorer, but how many goals?
He didn't even get that many assists last season.
Yeah, so you look at it, he's eclipsed our top goal scorer in goals and assists in November.
Yeah.
Like mid-November, the guy is a walking, talking, record-breaking machine.
I was certain that Pele got more goals than that, though.
Mate, it's the thing that's going out in international football for Brazil, not in total club and whatever, but playing for Brazil, he's got one less goal than Harry Kane now. Mate, the guy just goes on, and Harry Kane is just getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
It's just madness. And you looked at the game yesterday, and I watched a lot of it, but like I said to you, I was down a YouTube short rabbit hole. Albania have become a much better team. They aren't the mugs that they used to be. I remember the first time I ever saw Albania was a 5-0 win, and Gaza scored his first goal, where he picked it up from deep, like from about 40 yards, and just ran through the entire team. And it used to be a 5-0 whooping every single game. Albania have come on, and they look like they're in the playoffs for the group. So
yeah.
So they have had a huge turnaround, and they caused us some problems, but we need to get a couple of goals, and right on cue, the main man just comes up with another couple. He's just outstanding.
He really is. There was a quote from Thomas Tuchel regarding Jed Spence, and he was talking on the incident between Spence and Thomas Frank, obviously when Spence and Van der Ven walked past him after the Chelsea game. And Thomas Tuchel said, I didn't like it. The players know that they're not just representing the national team in short camps, but always standards of behaviour. It's always important. And on the back of those quotes, Jed Spence didn't see a minute for England over these two games. Do you think there was anything in that? Like Tuchel not being... I mean, I guess if there was, and he wasn't going to give him minutes, why call him up anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, first of all, Tuchel is a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see that, just remember what happened with him and Conte.
Yeah.
Or that certain things important to him. And do you know what Tuchel is right. It wasn't the best, but it's been squashed and dealt with. Was he an unused sub for that reason? I don't know. I mean, he mixed and matched it a bit in Albania. So I think...
He played O'Reilly and Quansah.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to do now, we obviously knew we'd qualified. Maybe this is the opportunity now. I think there's 3 more games, they were saying, that England play before the World Cup.
Yeah.
He's now got to use this to try and see who's on the fringes, who's going. I think Spencer's done enough, barring injuries and a huge drop of form, for him to be on that plane to the World Cup because of his versatility. So maybe he is trying other players to see what he's got.
Yeah, I guess a big problem Spence has is Nico O'Reilly, because he's having an astonishing season so far. Lockdown Salah, and he started both games for England in this qualifier, and I think he looked good in both games.
I think he's a great player. I think he's a great player. Do you know what? Is that the Man City player that changed the game in the FA Cup against Bournemouth?
I'm not sure.
It wasn't O'Reilly that came on, I believe, and he looks really, really good. He looks really, really good. So it's good for England, and it's great to have the competition. And when you've got that shirt, you've got to keep it, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to Italy, as Vicario actually played for Italy in this international break. He played 90 minutes as Italy beat Moldova 2-0. And what happens the next game? You take Vicario out and you get battered, as Italy lost 4-1 to Norway in Italy. Yep. How mad is that? Norway absolutely taking Italy to the cleaners.
Mate, did you hear the story with Haaland in that game?
No.
I saw it on Twitter. So apparently the defender that was marking him kept trying to wind him up by pinching his ass.
Okay.
And kept winding him up. And then Erling Haaland said, all right, you want to play dirty with me? Let's see what happens. And then he went and scored 2 goals instantly. You don't mess with that man. It's but like you said, Vicario keeps clean sheet. Donnarumma comes in. Vicario is in great form for us, isn't he?
Yeah.
After a little bit of a worrying period, he's come back on tip-top form. It's just weird you swap goalkeepers around like that, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think the game against Moldova, they're bottom of the group. They've got 1 point all campaign. I think they just wanted to try a few different players in that game, but the Norway game was the big game for them.
Yep.
It really was a big game. But Norway finished top of the group. Italy finished second, so Italy need to go into the playoffs. Can you imagine Italy not at another World Cup? Yet another one.
It will be... Do you know what? Obviously, I think we all grew up, and Italy were a staple of the World Cup. They were there. It weren't even a talking point. To now potentially be on the cusp of missing another one is just ridiculous. I mean, people like Iggy must be tearing what hair they have out. Because Italy, I remember the Roberto Baggios, the greats that Italy have had. And it's just incredible. You'd always think they'd qualify, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, they won it back in 2006, didn't they? Italy?
2006 or 2006 in Germany, yeah.
Yeah, so... all right, that's Italy. South Korea, Yan Min-hyuk got called up off the back of his good form for Portsmouth. Played 6 minutes at the end of the game. Not really much to note. They're already 2-0 up, home and hosed. But they do play Ghana tomorrow, so another opportunity for him to play. In terms of Argentina, Romero playing 90 minutes in a 2-0 win in a friendly against Angola away. And this one really wound me up, guys, because Argentina have one game over this international break, which is a friendly against Angola. Like, what is the point of this international break for Argentina? Like, can they not give just players some rest? Like, if there's no qualifiers or no Nations League or no competitive football, just give them the international break off. Like, what is the big deal?
Yeah, I mean, you look at that game like we talked about with Sarr and Gabriel with Brazil-Senegal. No points.
Yeah, that's another one as well.
You look at it, thankfully we weren't affected by it, but Colombia-Spain. West Ham Stadium. These guys, I don't understand what's going on with these needless friendlies. We talk about players overplaying so much and it's picking up injuries, especially in a World Cup year. You'd want to try and keep everyone fit, wouldn't you? You'd rather them have less games. But he went and captained the team again.
No, Messi played.
Oh, Messi. Okay. So, mate, even for Messi to go.
Yeah. But they're grabbing all these players, the majority of them are in Europe, all the way to Africa, to Angola, for a meaningless friendly. And, like the Arsenal, the Senegal-Brazil one, you've got two players that have gone off injured in that game, in Gabriel and Sarr, for a meaningless friendly. For what? We already know these players are overworked and playing too many games already. Just scrap these international friendlies. It's just meaningless.
Yes, unless it's qualifications.
Unless it's qualification or warm-up games for a tournament, they're needless.
Exactly, because as soon as the season ends, there'll be a couple of friendlies we play before we go out there. It's just too much football, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. So, but that is Romero's international break done and dusted. They only had one game this international break. So I guess that's a positive in itself that they didn't organise two of the meaningless games. They just had one. But we go to France France under-21s as Tel and Odeberg both played 90 minutes. Tel playing in the 9, Odeberg playing out on the right-hand side in a 1-1 draw with Switzerland. And then there's another game tonight where they play Faroe Island. So I think Tel and Odeberg have been getting goal contributions pretty much every time they played. None in this game, but against Faroe Islands tonight, you watched them rack them up for fun, I tell you.
Yeah. And it's Odeberg playing on the right for France. So obviously we're using him on the left and he's growing into it, but it's good to see him performing on the right as well. Should we need to, there is another option.
All right, Netherlands, Mickey van der Ven and Javi Simmons. They played Poland in a 1-1 draw, and Mickey van der Ven played at left back, played 90 minutes in the game. I mean, that is some backline. Look at that for Netherlands. They've got Van der Ven, Van Dijk, Jurien Timber, and Geertruida, who's obviously doing really well for Sunderland at this moment in time. So that is some backline to go into an international tournament with. But Mickey van der Ven doing Mickey van der Ven things, wasn't he?
Mate, that run, it's just insane. You've seen it, people know he can do it, and they just can't stop it unless they hack him down like they did in that game. he is just a thing in beauty. You need to get some. We need to get some music behind it. What music would you have behind it for when he goes on a run?
Does Roadrunner have a theme song?
I think you have to go with "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen.
Could be, yeah. That's a good one.
I think he's got to have a theme tune, because when he gets going, you just can't stop him.
Yeah, you can't. He's unstoppable.
Unbelievable.
But Xavi Simons, unused substitute in this game. Last international break as well, on the bench for the 2 games that he did play. So, I mean, he seemed like a player that was like a dead cert to start for the Netherlands pretty much every game, and now he's been stuck on the bench for the last few.
He has. Maybe that had a bit of his settling in period with what we've had, but the last couple of games, the Copenhagen and United game, he certainly started showing signs of finally being comfortable, and we've been able to find him and express him. And I'm sure, as we have this long gap now till March for internationals, he'll be back in that team. And he'll be a main part of it, but that will give him time now to settle into Tottenham, won't it? And play him regularly, and we should hopefully be seeing Xavi Simons continue the form he showed the last couple of games.
Yeah. In terms of how they're doing in terms of qualification, so they are top of the group. They play Lithuania tonight. A draw seems them guaranteed, but even if they lose, they need like a major goal swing. So they're 3 points above Poland in the ranking in the table. Poland are on a positive 6 goal difference, and Netherlands are on a positive 19. Oh. So, yeah, they're pretty much done.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Luka Vuskovic made his first start for his national team, Croatia. They beat Faroe Islands by 3-1. He played 90 minutes. Unfortunately, no goal contributions. Gvardiol got the first goal, so there was a goal from the centre-backs, where he started in the middle of a back 3, and Gvardiol was obviously on the left. They play Montenegro tonight, but I think the manager did say prior to the game that he's going to start this game and then maybe play the second game with the under-21s. So, yeah, lasting all 90 minutes. A big up to Vuskovic.
So I've actually got a guy that I speak to with on Twitter, and he comes on he's in my chat, and he is Croatian. And he sent me this on Saturday. He goes, "Hello, mate. I watched Croatia's game. Vuskovic played like a seasoned campaigner. He's got the X factor, Maverick DNA, strong, could play rugby. Spurs need to bring him back." So that's from a Croatian Everton fan. Big things are expected of him. And he doesn't fear anything, does he?
No.
He does not fear anything at all. And it's just great to hear reports like that from his first full international start.
Yeah, just look at this heat map from him. If you bring on the heat map, you see that it's just everywhere. It says here he played in the centre. That doesn't look like he played too much in the centre. It looked like he was down the left a little bit. But yeah, one out of his 2 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 clearances, 8 recoveries, 3 out of 5 ground duels won, 8 out of 13 aerial duels won, made 2 fouls on the day. Yeah, he had 1 shot, but unfortunately it was blocked. But you knew that was going to rifle into the back of the net if he would have made proper connection with it. But yeah, you know, he just surprises you every time you hear his name, doesn't it?
Yeah, and how good is it to hear that every time you're hearing, "Oh, did you see what Vuskovic did? Did you see what Vuskovic did?" Everything has been breathtaking or great, not always been an idiot and got a stupid, reckless tackle or anything. He is just he is literally just building on himself, and we are going to reap the rewards when he's finally back at us full time.
All right. Next up is the Brazil-Senegal game at the Emirates. It finished 2-0 to Brazil. Richarlison was an unused sub. Pape Matar lasted just 49 minutes before going off injured. The Brazil manager, like we said in the update, said he got hit and then he didn't feel well. So as a precaution, he preferred to come off. But I don't think it's a big deal. So let's hope it's not a big deal. I'm not sure if he's been sent home or if he's going to play the second friendly, because they play Kenya tomorrow. Brazil play Tunisia tomorrow, so we'll see if Richarlison gets any minutes. But yeah, meaningless friendly. An African team and a South American team playing in London, and there's 2 injuries on the day to 2 London-based players. So I mean, you just can't make it up, can you?
No, you can't. You can't. And like I said, Richarlison unused sub. let's see if he gets minutes, because there's the big talk of who's going to lead the line on Sunday. And if he's not getting any minutes at Brazil, will it impact, and will he go for someone that's got minutes in international duty?
Well, you can look at it the other way. Maybe he'll see it as a positive that Richarlison's rested up.
Yeah, you could look at it that way, but which way would you... If it was the North London derby... Well, I would say tomorrow, but let's say it is Sunday. Right now, who is your choice for playing the 9?
I think it's a really difficult call, because we know Moani and Solanke can't play.
Yep.
So it's between Richarlison, Tell and Scarlett. Those are the 3 options that we have.
Yep.
I said in the video that we did on Thursday, why not put Kudus in the false 9 if he's fit? If Kudus is fit, I wouldn't mind seeing Kudus play in the false 9, play a bit of a role like he did against PSG, where he's just a bit of a battering ram and makes it really hard for those Arsenal defenders. Get Brennan on the right, Odebear on the left. I think that's the way I would go.
Okay. I think I'd go Tell.
Tell.
But I do like your idea, Kudus, but then then that means Brennan Johnson on the right, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's an option, but I think I'd go Tell. Because Richarlison, I just don't think he's offering anything unless he's at the end of the scoring. And
You know, though, just like on the odd occasion, Richarlison, it could just click for him on the day.
it could, but how many times do we say that?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. We say that a lot. But the reality is, as much as he's not making an impact in games, he's got a bit of a Brennan Johnson-itis about him, because he's not really showing us in games what he can do, but he does have 6 goal contributions this season.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Michael Warrington has just, I think it's Warrington, has said in the chat as well, which I've said for weeks. I wouldn't mind, if need be, I'm not saying for the North London derby, but I wouldn't mind seeing Brennan Johnson given a shot, because he can finish.
Yeah.
But I don't think this game would be right, but I agree with you, mate. I would be seeing Johnson false 9 or playing as a if we could get him through with through balls like when he gets on the end of them, rather than hold up play and everything. I think he's got goals in him at centre forward. So I would take that as an option, but I don't think I'd do it for the NLD.
Fair enough. Next up, we go to Austria, we go to Cyprus, where Austria played against Cyprus, a 2-0 win. 90 minutes for big Kevin Danso, got an assist on the day as well. Look at that heat map as well. Very aggressive defending there from Kevin Danso. He's basically playing majority in the opponent's half there. Look at that from Kevin Danso. But yeah, it's good for Kevin Danso to get some minutes for Austria, because he's been on the bench a lot in the last couple of international breaks. I don't think he's got many minutes. So to play 90 minutes in this one, grab an assist for his team as well, I think it's brilliant for him.
Come back with a spring in his step. His long ball, his long throws coming off the bench, if it's a back 4, could have a huge part in this game. And it's great to see Kevin Danso doing well. I love the man. So getting an assist for his country, always good. I wonder if it was a long throw.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, to be honest. Did anyone see the assist? I think it was a pass, to be honest.
There we go.
Yeah, I think it was a
his
pass.
passing has been improving.
You think so, yeah?
I do think it's still not where you want it to be, but Kevin Danso, like we saw in Everton, is just a defender that wants to defend, isn't it? I know passing the ball has become a massive part of defending, but for a rock hard, solid defender that you want at the back, I think he's great.
All right, now let's go and talk about Wales, as Wales beat Liechtenstein 1-0 away from home. Brennan Johnson only coming on for the last 8 minutes. And this is a bit of a worrying thing with Brennan Johnson and Wales, because, you know, he should be their talisman. You know, the amount of goals he scored at Spurs last season, you look at the quality that Wales have, he should definitely be a standout player for them. And way too often he's either coming off early in games or being on the bench in games. And I think that's a bit of a worrying sign with Brennan.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, under Craig Bellamy, it's been up and down for him. And is it to do with this form with us? But you've got to remember as well, he was having lack of game time with us recently. But recently he is, before the last few games, but he has started him quite recently. Maybe he wanted him as an impact sub. Maybe, who knows? But he was a regular starter for the previous manager, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And it's Bellamy is putting him on the bench recently. And who knows, he may start on Tuesday.
He has to, because tomorrow night they play Macedonia. This is the group table. So Wales on 13, Macedonia on 13, Belgium on top with 15. So you think Belgium, they play one of Kazakhstan or Liechtenstein, they're definitely going to win that game. Wales against Macedonia, it's basically winner goes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's a massive game tomorrow night.
Huge.
Pedro Porro playing 90 minutes for Spain in a 4-0 away win against Georgia. No goal contributions for Porro this time, but he really is making that right-back spot his own now for Spain.
He is indeed. And another 90 minutes in the locker for the man that just doesn't get a rest. I completely agree. The last few games for Spain, he has really nailed that right-back performance or right-back position. Let's hope he comes back now.
Oh, sorry. No, he played 45 minutes. He went off at half-time.
Okay, but I still think he's nailed on that right. I think his performances, especially the last international break, done him the world of good. It's good for us that 45 minutes. Let's hope he comes back fresh. Although I think I'll start Spence on Sunday. Whether Thomas Frank does is another story. But good that he's got another 45 minutes. He's getting more rest at Spain than he does with us.
Yeah. Keep that rest coming for Pedro Porro because he desperately needs it. They do play Turkey tomorrow night. In terms of the outlook of the group, this is where they're at. So pretty much done. They play Turkey, so a draw sends them through. If they lose, they're going to have to lose by a considerable amount for them to be knocked into the playoffs, because there's only 3 points that separates the team, but Turkey are on a positive 5 goal difference and Spain are on a positive 19. So
like the Holland thing all over again.
Yeah, exactly. But these two teams are actually playing each other.
Yep.
So I highly doubt there'll be any swing there.
A double-figure defeat for Spain.
Yeah. But last but not least, Rodrigo Bentancur played 90 minutes in Mexico's 0-0 draw with Uruguay. They play USA tomorrow night, which will be the last of the games for any Spurs player to play in. It's like a midnight game tomorrow night, so basically the morning after. But yeah, Bentancur getting 90 minutes, no goals conceded, nothing really to write home about. But yeah, not every day you see a Bielsa team draw 0-0.
Yeah, that's quite shocking, isn't it? It's quite shocking.
So that's it. That is your international roundup. Obviously, we'll bring you tomorrow and the next day when the rest of the games are. But for the rest of the stream, we're going to talk about which Spurs players are actually confirmed to be going to the World Cup, and we'll talk about how we think those countries and those players can do at the World Cup. And first up, we look at Korea, as Yang Min-hyuk now having 2 caps for South Korea. Could he be on that plane? Because Korea are already qualified. We know Sonny, he's pretty much, we call him a Spurs player, even if he's not, Tottenham legend through and through. So those two could definitely be going to the World Cup. It'll be interesting if Yang Min-hyuk does go to the World Cup, if he can, he won't be starting, but can he come on the bench, make a bit of a difference? How far can Korea actually go in this World Cup? Obviously, it depends a lot on the draws that these countries get, but Korea, they've been surprising a lot of teams recently. In the last international break, they wiped the floor a bit with the USA, and you would have thought that would have been a much harder game for Korea. They had a really good game against Mexico. It ended up being 2-2, but there was a last-minute equaliser from Mexico. So yeah, I mean, Korea surprising a lot of people, and I think they'll do a lot better than maybe some people anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for the experience for Yang Min-hyuk to go there. Obviously, you'd imagine it would be Sonny's last World Cup for sure, and he'll want to go out with a bang. And you just never know with Korea, do you? I mean, we don't, like I said, don't know the group stages, but I think they could certainly get past the first stage. And obviously, Sonny now playing in or could be playing in the country he now plies his trade. Don't know if they'll be there or Canada or Mexico, but I think they get out of the group stages at least. Yeah.
Japan, Kota Takai, they're already there. Is Kota Takai actually going to be called up? Is he ever even going to train for Tottenham Hotspur? We don't know, but he has had 4 caps to date with Japan. So if he can get his career back on track from now until the end of the season and prove his fitness and get a few minutes for Tottenham, you never know, he could be on the plane.
Yeah, well, that's going to depend on a lot more minutes. I mean, if you look at it, when he does start training, does he figure a lot for Tottenham?
That's the thing,
Does he figure a lot for Tottenham if he is fit, or if we do bring in another defender? Do we send him out on loan? What I will say, the Japanese team is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. They really are an improving nation. and they could surprise some people. But I think Kota Takai, the only way he could probably get on that plane is if he goes on loan, because at the moment he's not getting, like we've heard, like Solanke and everyone, they're almost there. They're on the grass. No, they're not. So it's a big few months for him. But will Japan, if he hasn't played a lot of minutes, see him as a vital player that he'll be good enough and we need him? That's the other thing.
Yeah. It depends on how highly they value him. With him playing, having 4 caps already, if he proves his fitness from now until then, could he be taken as the kind of like 4th, 5th choice, however long or how many centre backs it is? So that's that. Argentina qualified, obviously, as World Cup winners, but they did have to qualify because that rule has changed. Cuti Romero, 45 caps for Argentina, vice captain to Messi, the heir to the throne. He is going to be the future captain of Argentina. We all said 3 years ago when Argentina won that World Cup, it's Messi's last World Cup. Yep. It looks like he is going to be going back for another one with the way he's playing in the MLS, top goal scorer there. I don't know if he's signing a contract. There was a bit of a cryptic post on social media a few days ago with him in the new camp and saying, could he be going for last swan song at Barcelona? We don't know. But it looks like Messi will be going to this World Cup. But Cuti Romero is obviously going to be a standout performer for Argentina again, and they're going to be one of the favourites for the tournament. Yeah,
probably, or if not the favourites, I'd say. Yeah, you can expect them to go far, couldn't you? I mean, it's great to see him going. Like you said, you say it will be Messi's last World Cup. Well, surely this one will be. And then he will be the heir to the throne. Club captain, international captain, big things for Cuti. And he was great at the last World Cup, wasn't he?
It's bad, isn't it, to think about, like, when's the last time Spurs have had the captain of such a big nation? Like Argentina, World Cup winners, Cuti Romero. And still, a lot of people don't give him his, the praise that he deserves. I mean, did you see those comments from Stuart Pearce the other day on Romero? Romero was like, Stuart Pearce was basically calling Romero a liability.
Okay. I mean, could you imagine those two in the changing room in their pomp?
Yeah.
God, that would be pure cinema. Stuart Pearce and Romero. Listen, Stuart Pearce was an incredible left back, and what a player to have in your dressing room for motivation, for setting high standards. But I think you're wide off the mark here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Cuti Romero, definitely going to be at the World Cup. Next up, Brazil have qualified as well with Richarlison with 52 caps. It's mad to think about. Richarlison has more caps for Brazil than Romero has for Argentina, which is crazy.
To say more caps for Brazil than he has appearances for Tottenham.
Well,
that's what I thought you were going to say.
Someone needs to check that. Has he had more than 52 appearances for Tottenham?
Do you know what?
He might not do, not Premier League anyway.
Let's have a look.
It should be around about that. Does Richarlison have more caps for Brazil than Richarlison does at Tottenham Hotspur? I reckon it's pretty tight,
Premier League appearances has Richarlison.
I'll do it easier way.
Played for Spurs.
No, he's had more than that.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he's had more than that. Not
81.
Too. Yeah.
81. Okay. But going on about what was the question? Sorry, I got lost when we were trying to do that.
There was no question. I was just saying Richarlison going to be at another World Cup. We saw what he did in the last World Cup with the overhead kick and everything. I think he'll be further down the pecking order this time. In the last game, they played kind of 4-2-2-2 formation against Senegal. They had Cunha and Vinicius up front. They had Rodrigo and Estival behind. Estival seems to be scoring every game for Brazil. Scored again last week with Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes kind of protecting them. But I mean, with players like Vinicius, Cunha, Rodrigo, Estival, I can't really see Richarlison getting the look in, to be honest.
I can't, but do you know what it is with Brazil as well? Again, I'm lucky.
Got João Pedro as well.
When I look at Brazil as a World Cup now, as a World Cup team, I don't look at them how I used to look at them in the 90s and early 2000s, because you just knew the samba football, the flair, like the Harlem Globetrotters of football. They're a more disciplined and structured team now, aren't they? And they haven't got the Ronaldos or the Romarios, Rivaldos, Ronaldinhos of that quality. So I don't even. you always have a worry about Brazil, but I don't think they're one of the favourites. And Richarlison, like you said, I can't see Richarlison being a starter, especially on the current form.
Yeah, I agree. But you never know what can happen coming off the bench. You know, can he make an impact?
Yeah.
He always seems to make some sort of an impact. But yeah, definitely stay fit for World Cups. So that's Richarlison. He's most definitely, or Brazil, most definitely going to be going. Ghana have qualified as well with Mohamed Kudus. I mean, Mohamed Kudus in the last World Cup had a really strong tournament, didn't he? Got the move to West Ham off the back of it. And I expect him to have a big tournament this time as well. And 46 caps, Mohamed Kudus for Ghana. And he's going to be central to them once again.
Yeah, he is pivotal to them, isn't he? And he, like I said, had a great World Cup. And if he plays at the sort of form he has in the early part of his Spurs career, then Ghana are a team not to be messed with.
Senegal have also qualified. And it's mad that Ghana qualified for the World Cup, but they didn't qualify for the AFCON, which is great for us because we don't lose him. But Senegal, Pape Matar, he's obviously a very important player for Senegal. Yeah. He's had 37 caps. So, I mean, if he's fit, he's definitely going to be going to the World Cup.
100%.
England. Now, England is an interesting one because we've got Jed Spence, we've got James Maddison, we've got Dominic Solanke. James Maddison is not likely to be fit until around May, around about that time. So I think you can count Maddison out for the World Cup. Jed Spence, I think, at this moment in time, I think he's pretty likely to be going to the World Cup. Whether in a starting role or not, he's likely to be in the squad. Dominic Solanke is an interesting case because I was talking to you off air a bit before. I was like saying England's number 9s actually don't look too strong. If Ivan Toney's not going to be considered because he's playing in Saudi, you've got Harry Kane, you've got James Maddison, you've got Ollie Watkins. Who else is there? If Solanke can prove his fitness and a bit of form in the second half of the season, could he be on that plane?
I think the thing with this as well is when you look at it, as we were saying off air as well, I think Rashford is going to be, obviously we think Rashford will go, whether it's to be used on the left or as a striker. So you've got that. So would you put Rashford in there as well, or do you think he's only going to play him at left wing? I'm trying to think of other strikers, and I can't really think of any that are really blowing up the scene. I mean, Ivan Toney, if he does not get a move, whether it's to us or...
There's Delap as well.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you got Delap. He got injured recently, didn't he? Or at the start of the season.
He's back now,
He's back now. Okay, so he's got a chance to pull for it. But there isn't that many... I mean, I remember growing up again, you had Sheringham, Shearer, Wright, Ferdinand. Like, you had Dion Dublin. You had, like, elite strikers. Owen Fowler. You could list them easily. It's not that easy right now in the striker position, is it? No.
It seems like we've got like a host of talent in like the attacking midfield areas, on the wings, like these kind of positions. But in the number 9, but to be fair, we got Harry Kane. So if Harry Kane stays fit...
Exactly.
Then it's not a problem.
Exactly. If Harry Kane stays fit, then there's not... But you need it, obviously, for the squad game. If you need to rest him like at 80 minutes, you need players to be able to come on and do the job.
Do we need to take 3? Is 2 enough?
Well, I think you take 3 anyway because, like we were saying, I think Rashford goes anyway. So it could be Watkins, Kane and Rashford who'll be there on the left but can go up top. So I think 2 out-and-out strikers may be the number because I don't think there is anyone. Unless, like we said at the beginning of this, Solanke comes back in and just has an absolute sensational rest of the season and stays fit.
How many goals do you think Solanke has to score this season to get on the plane?
Well, first of all, we've got to think, when does he actually get back on the pitch? Because that's going to have a huge...
Let's say for argument's sake, he's back in January.
He's back in January.
Yeah. How many goals from January to the end of the season do you think he would need to score to be in Thomas Tuchel's plans?
15.
You think that's a big ask?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's a massive ask. 15 goals from January to the end of the season.
Or should we say, all right, let me change that. 15 goal contributions.
That's
15
more.
15 goal contributions.
Even that's a big ask,
to be fair. But you think with Kudus and whoever comes in, Simmons, if you want to get yourself on the plane, you're going to have to do something special to get there. Yeah. And you're going to have to show, most importantly, your fitness to stay fit, which is the massive thing with him.
How many do you think he'll get?
Well, I've said, and I said it before he got injured, I think under Frank could get him scoring because of the way he plays, the way he's done it with Tony, and the way. So if he stays in the box and we do start crossing it in and using his aerial ability, and Kudus can get them in, and let's say we have a left winger, and Odegaard finds form if we don't sign a left winger with crossing, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can get 10.
Okay.
I think he can get 10 goals.
Goal contribution.
No, goals.
Oh, goals.
I think he can get 10 goals across all competitions.
Ah, okay. Add in that caveat.
Oh, okay. In the Premier League, let's go. All right, let's go from January to May. No, I'll stick at 10. I'll stick at 10 in Premier League.
Is he part of the Champions League squad?
I can't remember if he was added.
Because if he's not added, then there's not. It pretty much is just Premier League and FA Cup.
Well, if we qualify, then he can.
Yeah, he can go. Yeah,
around,
yeah. All right, well, that's that. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Dominic Solanke situation. France have qualified. Randall Kolo Muani is an interesting one. 31 caps for France. He actually played a pretty big part in the last World Cup, coming off the bench, looking good at times. Obviously, there was that big save from Martinez that everyone remembers against Argentina. Muani was called up to this squad and obviously pulled out because of the injury. Can he make the World Cup? Does he need to have a big second half of the season to make it? Or, you know, it's not like he blew it. You know, he played slightly well in some of the games, but got called up off the back of it.
Well, look at that. And we were just talking about how many goals Solanke needs. I completely forgot about adding Muani in the competition for places.
Yeah. To be fair, I think Muani was called up because of like injuries to like Ousmane Dembele and
exactly. Well, yeah, we look at it. Let's just go from what we've seen in Muani at Spurs right now. Obviously, we've seen some great build-up play, some great energy, some great hold-up play. But when it's come to shooting, he's had air shots.
Yeah.
He's put that one wide.
Such little minutes, though. It's not much to go on, is there?
It's a very, very small sample size. There is a play there. I think he will get amongst the goals. But well, I'll tell you what benefits both for Spurs is should Solanke and Muani both be fit, like we're saying, January, they have both got mad motivation for competition for places to be firing, haven't they?
Yeah.
To try and force their way into their country's World Cup squad.
Yeah.
So that could be great for Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Imagine that. You got two strikers fighting tooth and nail. I mean, I probably if they were just fighting tooth and nail just to be in the Spurs team and score goals for Spurs instead of getting on their international World Cup level, but it is what it is. Croatia have qualified as well. Luka Vuskovic just made his first start for Croatia. Can Luka Vuskovic make it to the World Cup squad? You think he's going to make it?
Yeah. If he carries on with what he's doing in Germany, I think it's an absolute shoo-in. No chance he's not on that plane.
And what an experience it will be for him, you know, at his age, to keep going up the levels that he's doing, to keep surprising people in the numbers that he's, you know, everything that goes, that what Luka Vuskovic is doing right now, to make it to a World Cup at, 18? It'll be an absolutely unbelievable experience for him.
Oh, it will be. Look at the youngsters that England have done it with, like Theo Walcott. It's, even if they don't get the minutes, what an absolute incredible... And it'll probably be, or it will be. I don't know. Is Luka Modric still playing for Croatia?
I think so.
So you can pretty much say that'll be his last World Cup as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's 40.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he has retired from international football, but if he's going as well, I mean, what an experience.
Yeah, he started in the last game.
So what an experience for him. I mean, Ronaldo has said he's quitting Portugal at the end of this World Cup.
Even Perisic is still starting for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of players around the world that this will be their last one song for their countries. Just an incredible opportunity for Vuskovic to be with the national team, experience something that he's going to experience a lot throughout his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he stays fit and carries on doing what he's doing. He's an absolute slam dunk for against the world.
Mental, isn't it? We're talking 2026. Modric, Perisic, Ronaldo, Messi, still going to World Cups.
Yep. Well, you know what? You look at it; it just shows like people like Harry Kane and like Ryan Giggs did with the aerobics and everything. Not aerobics. What's it called? What's it called?
It was a Pilates and yoga and
yoga.
Stuff.
That's the word I wanted. Yoga. It just shows these players are now, because of sports science, nutrition, and everything. They are conditioning themselves and they are playing a lot longer. So it is mad to think about, because back in the day, they were all in the pubs or having a cigarette or whatever. Now they are looking after their bodies properly and they are playing for longer. And we've been blessed with their talents for longer than we thought.
Yeah, absolutely. So Portugal qualified, I think, last night or 2 days ago. João Palhinha will be going to the World Cup. I don't think he'll be getting many minutes at the World Cup, but I think he'll be going as part of the squad. He always gets called up. He just hasn't seemed to be getting any minutes, really.
I think World Cup, it may be, not that it'll start, but I think it'll get more minutes, because if they're winning and they start needing to hold on to games,
Yeah.
he's the perfect player you bring on and say, right, just do what you do and be that defensive insurance and that battering ram. I think he will get minutes in the World Cup, but off the bench mainly.
Yeah, it looks as though they kind of favour Ruben Neves, Vitinha and João Neves in the middle of the park. So Ruben Neves being the kind of sitter of the two. Vitinha is just...
Yeah, incredible.
Mate, what a player Vitinha is. And I can understand why João Palhinha is not getting minutes. Look, I mean, Ruben Neves obviously playing in Saudi right now, so the Portuguese manager doesn't see it the same as Thomas Tuchel or the English setup in terms of calling players up from the Saudi league. But Ruben Neves, you know, he's a player that can move the ball and pass. He's got unbelievable passing ability, and it's just something that João Palhinha doesn't have.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that is a great midfield. The one thing I'll say about Ruben Neves and the Portuguese manager playing him, would you say England, I would say, have a massive more sample size and more players to use than Portugal do. So maybe Portugal are using it. Listen, he is a very good player. He's a player I would have loved at Spurs at any point before going to the Saudi League. I still love him at the club now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a very strong midfield, isn't it?
Yeah. He's only 28.
It's ridiculous.
Ruben Neves. All right. So the next three are countries that haven't qualified yet, but are more or less done, like the Netherlands, like we mentioned before. They need a massive goal swing against them, like 10, 15 goal, however many it is, for them to get knocked out. And they are playing Lithuania tonight, so I highly doubt that's going to happen. So Mickey van der Ven, Xavi Simons, they're going to be nailed on to go to the World Cup, and it's going to be interesting. All Spurs fans are going to have eyes on Mickey van der Ven's hamstring as at a World Cup, because he'll be playing at left back.
Mate, all people are having eyes on Mickey van der Ven's hamstrings this evening. Let's hope he's unused sub or rested, because it's a game they really don't need to win, do they? It's literally...
Yeah, if they lose 5-0, they're probably still going in.
Yeah,
going through.
So, exactly. And they're not going to lose 5-0 to Lithuania.
No.
So let's hope he's not used too much tonight. But when they do qualify, he is a certainty on the plane. He is an absolute given. I
think Mickey is going to be one of the stars of the World Cup, to be honest. I really do.
Let's hope his contract is signed.
Yeah.
Like a very big contract is signed before New Year, let alone before the World Cup.
And Xavi Simons, I mean, he's definitely going to be going to the World Cup, has been limited to like bench opportunities in the last few games for the Netherlands, but I expect him to get his chance tonight, though. And I think, you know, if he does play tonight, it's a big opportunity for him to get a few goal contributions and get that confidence up.
Yeah, and most importantly, in being very selfish for us, it will give us confidence going into the NLD. It's going to be a game like he's never experienced. Obviously, he's had derbies where he's been, but this game is unlike any other. And hopefully he will get the minutes. Hopefully the Dutch coach will give him the time, and he can come back all guns firing, ready to rip Arsenal apart.
Yeah. Spain, all but qualified, so they're going to be at the next World Cup, barring something absolutely mad to happen tomorrow night, another big goal swing. So Pedro Porro is going to get his probably first starting role at a World Cup at right back. Kevin Danso, he's going to be going to the World Cup with Austria, as they just need to, well, it's not a definite, because they need to avoid defeat to Bosnia tonight. On Tuesday night for them to qualify, and they are favourites for that game, so you'd expect that to happen. But if that does happen, Kevin Danso will be going to the World Cup. Probably, I don't know. He hasn't been starting much, so I imagine it will be more of a bench role for Danso at the World Cup if they do make it.
Yeah, I mean, we depends what we have for the rest of the season, how regularly plays for us, isn't it? But it'd be great for these players to go to the World Cup, and Kevin Danso will richly deserve it.
And in terms of the playoffs, I think Wales have got a massive game, I think tonight, is it tonight or tomorrow, where they play against North Macedonia. So if they win, they go to the playoffs, and we'll see what Brennan Johnson has to say about that. With that, you know, it'd be great to see Brennan at the World Cup, to be honest. And is that it for the playoffs? Is there any other Spurs players going potentially in the playoffs?
That I know of. Not that I know
So we
of.
don't have any Irish players. So that's it. That is every Spurs player that could be potentially playing at the World Cup next summer. So I can't wait for the World Cup. Nothing better than a World Cup, is there, man?
Mate, I have never looked forward to a World
Yeah,
Cup
I bet you haven't.
more in my life. Honestly, do you know what? When they announced where this World Cup was going to be, it was 8 years ago. I just moved to Canada, and Toronto specifically. And when this draw came out and they said the World Cup, it seemed like years and years away. It's round the corner. I cannot wait to experience. Always wanted to be. I've been here for Euro '96, but I've always wanted to be living in a host nation for a World Cup. Never in my life did I think that would be in Canada, but honestly, I just cannot wait for this World Cup more than any other. Forget where I think England can do. This is just going to be an experience like no other, and I cannot wait to enjoy it.
Is there anything better than like the group stages of an international tournament? I know the football gets intense and really good later on in the tournament, but the group stages, you got 3-4 games a day of football. It's just unbelievable, man. Just non-stop football.
It's great, but some of these games, depending what part of, like if it's Toronto or east side of America, it's a 5 hour earlier time. Sorry, 5 hours. So if it's a 3 p.m. kickoff here, in Toronto, then you've got it it'll be 8 p.m. for you.
Yeah.
But then if it's all the way over on the West Coast, there's going to be an 8 hour time difference for you. It's just, it's mad. I remember the Korea World Cup, the Korea and Japan World Cup, where it was the pubs were open early. That was an incredible World Cup. That it's going to be such a thoroughly enjoyable.
So is
World Cup.
that World Cup is when England went out to Brazil, right?
Yeah, day before my birthday.
Yeah, I was in school then. I remember they opened school up so early to have a screening. I don't think I went. I think I watched it at home.
You know what happened to me that day, don't you?
What happened?
Oh God, here we go. So this was still during my drinking days.
Okay.
So I was still drinking.
Another Brian drinking story.
Oh mate, this one is brilliant. So we all met up.
Is it all right for YouTube?
Yeah, it's all right for YouTube. Totally all right for YouTube. So we all met. I was working at a suit shop or high street fashion shop called Cecil G in Whiteley's. So we all met early, started opening the shop after the game finishes. Went to work, left my suit at work the night before, so I didn't have to wear a suit into the pub. We all got absolutely rattled. I mean, pissed as you can imagine. Porro black shots, beers. It's the day before my birthday. Then we go into work. Pissed as a fart. I put my suit on and a tie on. I'm in charge of the suit department on the ground floor. I come upstairs. People are laughing. I didn't know why I was so gone. I came up with my suit, trousers, my suit jacket and a tie and no shirt. And no one told me for 90 minutes, ironically 90 minutes, I was walking around the shop, people were laughing at me. I had no idea why they were laughing at me. I was like, we were all drunk, I thought everyone was just giggling. I then went and looked at a mirror and I realised I was walking around the middle of a shopping centre in Oxford Street, or just off Oxford Street,
mate.
in Bayswater, with everything but a shirt on. As you do.
I would have paid to see that, man.
But you wouldn't have. Well, you might have done. But yeah, one of my many adventures whilst drinking.
Anyone else done that? Anyone else done that after a night out before?
Oh, mate, as you do.
Someone in the comments says scarily familiar.
There you go, yeah.
So maybe someone has been in that situation. But look, that is it from us today. We'll be back for more content tomorrow. I think Sim might just be back tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see if we get the all clear from him. But Brian, big up to you.
Always a pleasure, brother. Always
we'll see
a pleasure.
you very, very
the loan
soon.
may come to an end, but there may be a one-game extension with tomorrow.
You never know. You never know what can happen. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.